Squares and square roots. Let's just have a recap of what these are. If we have 6 times 6, that is also expressed as 6 squared. This little 2 here means 6 squared. And we know that that is 36. And 36 is the square of 6. So 36 is the square number. Now, as well as that, we say that 6 is the square root of 36, and we can write that mathematically as the square root of 36 is equal to 6. So 6 is the square root and 36 is the square of 6. Now for GCSE, you are encouraged to learn the first 15 square numbers. That means 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, and so on. So we will write them down. We'll write down the first few. 7 squared, 8 squared. Can we still get another couple in? Well, we'll leave it at that for the moment. And most of these you'll be familiar with, because 1 times 1 is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 25, 36, which we've just talked about, 49 and 64. And they are the first 8 square numbers. After that, we have, it gets a little bit more tricky to remember, but it is basically your times tables. 9 squared, 10 squared, 11 squared, 12 squared, 13 squared, 14 squared, and 15 squared. And we know these to be 81, 100, 121, 144, 169, 196, and 225. And they're the square numbers that you are encouraged to learn basically for your GCSE exams. And that's because these occur fairly regularly. Implicit in the questions, that's sometimes as part of the questions that you'd just be expected to know. In the same way you'd be expected to know that, example, the square root of 144 is equal to 12, or the square root of 196 is equal to 14. So you'd just be expected to know those. So it is well worth really getting to know them and becoming familiar with them. There are a couple of little helps along the way, and some of them of course are easier to remember than others, but one little thing for the harder ones to remember, 169, 196, you'll see you've just got these two numbers swapped around. So they both have 9 and 6 in it, but this one is 13 squared and that one is 14 squared. So it's getting to know little shortcuts, little ways of remembering things, and getting familiar with them. In the next video, we're going to look at why these are important in some aspects of your GCSE. And I'll be doing other videos on other aspects of GCSE, but we're going to look particularly at surds and surd form in the next video.